Now, one of the things that we've been seeing coming from NIO is that NIO has been developing, or has been continuously developing the parts, the things they use to build their cars in-house. I mean, the recent thing that excited even the investors of NIO is obviously the self-driving autonomous chip, which you will know that before that chip, NIO was producing them in-house. They were getting or sourcing that chip from Nvidia. They were called orange chips, which is something that, knowing that NIO is now producing that chip in-house, it's good for them because they will be saving cost, or they will also improve their gross margins. Now, the reason why I'm telling you about that is that we just read today that apparently NIO self-developed a new self-hardening alloy. It's apparently being utilized on the NIO ET9 and the ONVO L60. This is something that is pretty exciting because, as seen on the screen, you notice that it looks like it's a frame that surrounds the NIO tire, which is something that is great because, like I said, these things, the more NIO develop some of these things in-house, is the more they'll be able to make much more money when they are selling their NIO cars. The gross margins will seriously improve. So I know it might not be much, but I tell you, the amount of, or the price that they were paying for these two parts, or for those self-developed hardening alloy parts, they are now going to retain that, and it's going to improve or help them improve their gross margins, which is something that as investors we want that to take place, because what will follow from that is NIO getting or reaching to profitability, which is something that is great, and something that the NIO investors, all of the NIO investors, we are patiently waiting for NIO to get to that point, because we know with profitability it will obviously spike more interest from even more investors, those that are not investing onto NIO because it's not yet profitable. So it is good. These are massive news. These are good news. You will know that NIO's also long term is to also start producing their own batteries. Late last year, NIO formed a strategic partnership, or a strategic battery partnership, which will allow institutions specializing with battery to come and help NIO in terms of building their batteries, which is something that is great, and it shows us that NIO is very close from producing their own batteries, and once they start doing that, it's lights out, because you know that a battery is something that costs an arm and a leg on an EV, which is something that, knowing that NIO very soon will be producing their own batteries, gross margins can even go to over 30%, which is something that we want to see. Selling cars, it's not what generates you profits. This is what also Elon Musk said, I think 2 or 3 months back. But making sure that the services, the parts that you are using in the car, most of them are built in-house. That's what will make you a good gross margins. That's what will generate you profits, because you can produce a car outsourcing parts, buying parts outside, but you don't make a profit. It's very much possible. What makes profits, it's when you start building those parts, building those components that makes that car, and then you will see some good profits, some good gross margins, which is something that is great, right? I mean, you will know that on NIO cars right now, what we are seeing, the ladder, main controlling chip for their ladders, you'll know that it's been produced by NIO, right? So that is also a good thing for NIO. And now knowing the main controlling chip for autonomous driving, it is also very good, and it shows you the progress, or shows us the progress that NIO has made thus far, which is great, which is amazing and exciting. And yeah, we know we are going to reap good. You'll know that the motors that obviously are being deployed or fitted onto NIO cars are produced by NIO. There are also quite a number of things that NIO is producing themselves, including the chassis, right? The chassis that you see on NIO cars are produced or made and produced by NIO, which is something that is pretty great, exciting, and again, it shows you that NIO, it's headed in the right direction, where we are going to see them very soon starting to generate some very good gross margins, and I cannot wait to see that takes place. So yeah, man, this is what we read today. This is what these are some new parts that NIO apparently they are producing, and they are already using them on the ET9 and obviously the ONVO L60. This simply means that even on the NIO models that are going to be launched this year, NIO will be utilizing or using these parts onto those models also, because if they are being used on the ET9, they'll be used on the other NEO models, that's for sure, which is something that is great, and it makes me to be a really exciting. So yeah, this self-developed new hardening alloy made by NEO, apparently they will be also be open to the entire automotive industry, meaning that if people want to buy from NEO, other EV companies, other car companies want to buy from NEO, it is going to be sold, or they are going to be sold. But one thing is for sure, you will know that since NEO it's an extraordinary company, the current self-developed alloy that are on the industry are not as good as the current or recent NEO ones. And NEO tapping into this space, building theirs, we all know that if they are better, other companies or other car companies will also want to buy them from NEO, right? Which is great, which is exciting. Yeah, and I thought I just give this news to you. So yeah, man, I am happy, I am excited. NEO continues making or creating major moves, which for the new investors, this is great, this is exciting. And obviously one has to wonder where NEO will be maybe in the next year or two. If we are already making these, hopefully batteries, by the end of this year, I tell you, we'll be having some massive developments around NEO making their own batteries. Because one thing that some of the investors I've seen onto NEO are saying is that, what are these partnerships that NEO is making doing? And we have seen some of the latest developments, some of the results, fruits of NEO's partnership, what they can do, their capabilities, which I have no doubt that already by end of this year we should have seen, or we could have seen, we will have seen the latest developments as to how far NEO is from producing their own batteries. Yeah, and maybe who knows, we might get to see a sample of the actual batteries that NEO produce themselves, which will be so great, so amazing, and I cannot wait to see this takes place. I mean, NEO producing their own batteries, doing all these things, helps them make their cars be cheaper, which is great, which is exciting, because it will end up making all of the NEO cars, including sub brands, to be easily afforded by quite a number of people, which will be so great and amazing. So yeah, man, blue sky is coming, long term will win. Thought I'd give you this quick update. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because it takes me some time to make these videos, and all I ask is for you to hit that likes button if you did enjoy the content that I was giving you about NEO. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. That's all from me, and God bless you all.